everyone, it's me, Kaylee. If you are returning, then welcome back. I'm so glad you came to join me for another video, and if you are new here, then welcome. I hope you stay for a little while. I do mainly videos on Disney, on my Disney college program, so what it was like working for the Walt Disney Company at Walt Disney World. I do videos on books, so I do book reviews and stuff like that. I also do some beauty things and some craft and some baking. So I have a variety of different videos and hopefully something for everyone. If you like this video and you like some of the content I do, then I hope you will subscribe to my channel and hit that little notification bell to be notified every time I post a new video. I do post every Tuesday and Friday. So with all that being said, let's get into today's video. So I forgot to mention this in my 2021 goals video that I posted a few weeks ago, but one thing that I want to do this year is I want to read more. I love to read, but sometimes, sorry, my water bottle just fell off the chair randomly. I apologize for that loud noise. It's pretty heavy because it's still full. Anyways, moving on. Like I was saying, sometimes with work and life getting in the way, I don't always find the time to read as often as I would like to, so one of my goals is to make sure I put time aside to read. So I have a bunch of books here that I would like to hopefully read this year, so I'm going to share them with all of you guys and like kind of talk about them, how long I've had them, stuff like that. There is one book that I really hope to read this year that I don't actually own yet and I will need to buy, and that is The Ride of a Lifetime by, I'm completely blanking on his name. I know his name and I'm blanking on it. The CEO of Disney, or the past one. And he talks about running Disney and all of that. So I would love to read that book. I will link it in the description below. Can't believe I'm blanking on his name. Yeah, I can't think of it. Bob Iger. There we go. That's it. So I would like to read that book, and I will link it down below. And I will link all these books down below if I can find them for you guys. But the first one, besides that I'm going to talk about, I've already started reading a little bit. I'm almost halfway through it. It's really good so far. But it is this book, Fallen, by Lauren Kate. It's a series. This is the first one of the series. It's the only one that I currently own. I might get more to read this year. It will depend on how I feel at the end of the book. If I want to continue reading it, I've owned this book for so long, and for some reason I just haven't read it yet. So I decided I'm going to. So for all of these books, I will read the description, so you guys kind of have an idea of what the book's about in case you are interested in reading any of these books. So this one says, there's something achingly familiar about Daniel Girogi, whatever. Mysterious and aloof, he captures Luce Pierce's attention from the moment she sees him on her first day at Sword and Cross boarding school in Savannah. He's the one bright spot in a place where cell phones are forbidden, the other students are screw-ups, and security cameras watch every move. Except Daniel wants nothing to do with Luce. He goes out of his way to make that very clear, but she can't let it go. Drawn to him like a moth to a flame, Luce has to find out what Daniel is so desperate to keep secret, even if it kills her. Dangerously exciting and darkly romantic, Fallen is a page-turning thriller and the ultimate love story. So, like I said, I'm about halfway through, and so far it is pretty good. I will keep you all posted on how this one goes and if I decide to read the rest of this series. The next book that I want to read is Mother Knows Best by Valentino. I've read one of her other books before, the Maleficent one, and I've done I did a review of that book on my channel. I will try to remember to link it above and down below in the description. But I'm really excited to read this one because if you are not new here, if you're familiar with me at all, you know Tangled is my favorite Disney movie and Rapunzel is my favorite princess. So I'm really excited to read this. and I will read the description. It says, the tale can seem as long and twisted as the braided hair at the center of its legend. An innocent child abruptly taken from her parents. A girl with magical hair confined to an isolated tower. Her captor, a domineering old witch who masquerades as an overprotective mother who simply knows best. But what does Mother Gothel actually know? Why would she think that a lifetime of captivity is what's best for Rapunzel? Does she truly want to shield the princess and her enchanted hair from a mean, cruel world? Or is there more to the story? This account digs deep into the past to find out what Mother Gothel really knows and why she believes in her heart that she alone knows best. So, really excited to read this. I loved the one on Maleficent and her backstory, so I can't wait to read this one. Another book that I want to read this year is Midnight Sun by Stephanie Meyer. So, this is the author of the #1 best-selling Twilight saga. I read all of Twilight in middle school. I think I read, honestly, all 4 books in like a week and a half. I was so attached to them. So when I saw this, I was like, hey, that cover kind of looks familiar. And oh wait, I know that author. So I picked it up, and we finally have a book from Edward's perspective. So, of course, the inner middle school me had to get this because I have to read it. So, yeah, that's all I can say. So I will read the description. It says, I could see how easy it would be to fall into loving Bella. It would be exactly like falling, effortless. Not letting myself love her was the opposite of falling. It was pulling myself up a cliff face, hand over hand, the task as grueling as if I had no more than mortal strength. So, we're gonna see Edward's perspective of their love story, and I'm so excited. And I will definitely do a review of this once I read it. Another one that I want to read that has been on my shelf for quite a while is Want to Go Private by Sarah Lipman. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. So this has been on my shelf for like probably a year or two now. So the description says, when Abby meets Luke online, she can't believe her luck. He's nice, he's funny, he thinks she's pretty, he even gets jealous of other guys, which is adorable. Without Luke, Abby's not sure she'd make it through her first year of high school. Everyone, even her mom and her best friend Faith, tells her if she'd just make an effort, she'd be having fun. But there's nothing fun about being lowest in the social food chain. Abby knows she's not supposed to chat with random guys online, but Luke's not a stranger. He loves her. So what if her grades are slipping and she doesn't have time to see her friends? Luke is her secret and she is his. It's perfect that way. So when Luke suggests they meet in person, Abby agrees. And then she's gone, without a trace, and everyone is left to put together the pieces. If they don't, they'll never see Abby again. So, this is also obviously about the dangers of meeting people online. So, I am intrigued to give this a read, and I will let you all know how it is once I actually read it. The next one, again, has been on my shelf probably the same amount of time as Want to Go Private. This one is called Girl in Pieces, and it's by Kathleen Glasgow. Hope I said that right. And so this one is Charlotte Davis is in pieces. At 17, she's already lost more than most people do in a lifetime. But she's learned how to forget. The broken glass washes away the sorrow until there is nothing but calm. You don't have to think about your father in the river, your best friend who is gone forever, or your mother who has nothing left to give you. Every new scar hardens Charlie's heart just a little more, yet it still hurts so much. It hurts enough to not care anymore, which is sometimes what has to happen before you can find your way back from the edge. So, I am intrigued by this. If you haven't noticed, I kind of read, like, for lack of better words, dark books. They intrigue me, and I'm interested in the psychology behind why people do the things that they do. So these books really intrigue me. I don't know what else to say, really. The next one, this one I've probably had since early high school and I still haven't read it, which is crazy. But this one is called Borrowed Light by Anna Feinberg. And this one says, 16-year-old Callisto May feels a deep connection to astronomy. She can name all the moons of Jupiter and even tell you the dimensions of the big red spot. But she feels completely alone on planet Earth, and now that she's pregnant, her loneliness is acute. She can't turn to her mother, who's too consumed by unspoken grief to care for her children. She can't turn to her father, who buries himself in work and pretends that life at home is normal. And her surfer boyfriend wants freedom to catch the perfect wave more than he wants to hang around Callisto. Only Callisto's little brother loves her unfailingly, but she can't be there for him right now. She's got to make a huge decision, and for a change, that means thinking of herself first. Somehow, though, as her world orbits out of control, Callisto finds the courage to fight through the secrecy and silence that are suffocating her family, along with the strength to decide what's best for her future. So, I'll give this a read, hopefully this year. And the next two are books that I've had for so long, probably since they came out. They're both by Ellen Hopkins, who, if you are new to my channel, Ellen Hopkins is my all-time favorite author. She was the first author that I read her books and I really fell in love with reading. I own pretty much every single book that she's ever come out with. I even have one that's autographed, which is amazing. But these two I haven't actually read yet, so my goal is to read them this year. The first one is A Sin Such as This, which says, Tara thought she was finally settling down when she married the handsome Dr. Kevin Lattimore. But just as she was willing to overlook his gambling habits, she discovers his secret meetings with Sophia, his gorgeous ex-girlfriend who is now his son Eli's occasional girlfriend. Life gets even more complicated when Tara's niece Kayla starts hooking up with Eli. In a matter of weeks, Tara has reluctantly gone from rich, single San Francisco professional to Lake Tahoe housewife, managing her niece's whiplash moods while resisting her stepson's tantalizing sexual advances. Adding to the family drama is her younger sister Melody, who's having a serious marital breakdown, which means she might know something about her husband, and Tara's brief dalliance years ago. There we go. As Tara's fragile trust in her family teeters, timed with the arrival of certain people from her past, she also can't shake the feeling that someone's watching her, baiting her. Tara has always considered herself a tough, self-made woman after surviving a childhood defined by poverty, abuse, and neglect. For years she suffered from the sins of others. She committed a few of her own. Now she wonders if the misdeeds of her past are about to catch up with her, and if she can ever outrun them. So, hoping to read this one. And the next one is Love Lies Beneath, again by Ellen Hopkins. And this one, oh, it's about the same people. Huh, I didn't even realize that. Alright, so this one is once a widow, twice divorced. Tara is a woman with a past she prefers to keep to herself. She's gorgeous and affluent and content living alone in her flawless Russian Hill mansion in San Francisco. That is, until she meets Calvin Lattimore, the charming surgeon who operates on her after a ski accident in Lake Tahoe. In the weeks it takes her to recover, Calvin sweeps Tara off her feet, and the relationship blossoms into something she never imagined. He's stunning, and she's smitten. But as her love life flourishes, Tara starts to notice some strange and suspicious incidents. A van parked outside her home at unusual times, a break-in, threatening text messages, and distressing emails. And she can't help but take note of the cracks in Calvin's seemingly perfect persona, including the suppressed rage his conniving teenage son brings out in him. Housebound and on crutches, Tara finds herself dependent on this new man in her life, perhaps to a dangerous degree. Meanwhile, she's juggling difficult relationships with her sister and best friend, both of whom are envious of her glamorous life and financial freedom. Her irritable brother-in-law, who longs for her wealth and power, and her estranged mother. However the perfect Tara's life may appear, new events are starting to expose what lies beneath. So I think this one is the first one. I'll have to double check, but I believe this one goes first and then this one, so I'll have to read this one first. But yeah, it's kind of cool that they go together. I didn't actually know that. So those are all the books that I hope to read this year, and hopefully I'll get through them all and be able to do book reviews on my channel for you guys. And like I said, I will try to remember to link all of these books down below in case you want to check any of them out for yourselves. And I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!